Checking in from mayors in cities and towns all over Connecticut and asking them to check back in. And we're so happy that New Haven Mayor Justin Elicker has done just that. He is calling back in to give us a new update on what his city is doing to try to stop the spread of this new coronavirus. Mayor, thank you so much for taking the time. So what is the update? How is the fight going in New Haven?
Overall, it's going well, given the circumstances. Our residents have been working really hard on social distancing, and I've been very grateful to so many people for following the mandates by the governor and myself and a lot of the guidance that we've given out. That is so critical to making sure that we slow the spread of the virus. And while I am reluctant to say that we're bending the curve, but some initial indications are that we're currently not getting hit as hard as we had originally thought we might.
Well, that is a start. And of course, you are still, well, not in Fairfield County, perilously close to the epicenter there in New York City. I want to ask you about the possibility of some additional testing sites in New Haven. We did see what looked to be a possible site going up. We know there's a report from the New Haven Register that there could be a rapid testing site at a CVS there, but the governor's staff didn't really want to comment yet. What can you tell us, if anything, about that?
So this is such an important component to us ultimately beating the virus. If we have a lot more testing and then follow that up with what's called contact tracing, where people call the person that tested positive and find out who they interacted with and call those people and get everyone to self-isolate, that's ultimately the key to being able to slowly open up the economy. So I'm very excited that the state is looking at New Haven as a testing site in partnership with CVS. We are in conversations with the state about what the details of that site will look like. And we're also working with some of our community health centers and other entities to stand up some other testing sites so that we can provide opportunities for more people in New Haven to get tested.
And I'm happy you mentioned contact tracing, because that's going to be a term that I think a lot of Americans are going to become familiar with over the next month or so. I've seen an estimate that the country is going to need about 100,000 of those contact tracers, but only currently the CDC has about 600. So while everybody's going to have to start hiring them at a time when people are going to need jobs and training them, where's the onus going to fall on? Is that going to be something that's going to be dealt with by maybe you at the city level, or are you going to try to coordinate that with Governor Lamont? Has anybody had those discussions yet? Where is that impetus going to come from?
This is a great question, and ultimately, like most of our approach to the virus, if it's done at a larger scale, it's more effective. In New Haven, we're doing everything that we can to respond, and we actually have 50 volunteer contact tracers that have started working for us, and it doesn't require too much knowledge or background. It requires some health background because you need to ask some questions and make some assessment. But it's a half-a-day training in addition to that health background. And we think it's important for everyone to be contributing, and so we'll do what we can at the local level. I understand that the state is in some conversations with other states in the region to build that army of contact tracers that will need to ultimately tackle the virus.
That's very interesting that you said that, and I'm glad we just happened to sort of stumble upon it, because I am just not seeing many expert opinions out there that there's any way to safely reopen any economy anywhere without massive testing and that contact tracing, like you said. One other thing I wanted to ask you about while we had you, Mayor, is the warm line that is being offered to people in New Haven. Can you tell us what that's all about?
Sure, and this is such a good example of the nonprofits that are stepping up in New Haven and many other places to help out where they can. So Clifford Beers has provided mental health support primarily to families and children over the years, and they have opened up a warm line for anyone in New Haven to call. And that line is just an opportunity for people to have someone on the other end with some training that can talk with them about potential issues, that they may have, things that they're thinking about. We're finding that with so many people home, some people home alone for extended periods of time, that can create other challenges around depression or issues with stress and tension. And so having this phone number, which is 203-287-2460 for people to call, is a way to provide some support and resources to residents that are really struggling at this time.
Well, hopefully, Mayor, we have that flyer that you provided to the media that we had up to get that number up there, too, because that's something that really can't be overlooked. We are social creatures by nature. Isolation does not suit us well. So, yeah, that's a great, that warm line is a great resource for people. Mayor, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. I do want to try to circle back again, maybe with you in another week to see how the city is doing. And I want to stay on that contact tracing. That's wonderful news that you gave us, that you have 50 volunteers ready to go. So thank you, Mayor Elicker, for your time.
And thank you, and keep getting the word out about social distancing. It's so important.
You got it. Yes, we need to stay home, but